and welcome to another edition of Community Conversations. I'm Deputy First Selectman Nancy Haase, and I am joined by Selectman Sean Askham, Cheryl Cook, and Mike Paine. And we have an extra special guest with us today that we're very excited about. We'd like to introduce Quack. Quack. Cheryl, can you tell everybody why Quack is here?
Well, as the former PTO mom, I feel obligated to do that. But actually, we love this idea. And this is Joanna Merriman from the Tootin Hills PTO. And they are starting a new tradition this year. It's called the Duck Race. And a part of the motivation for doing this is to make a connection between the schools and the community and to bring the PTO projects out to the community so that we can share all of our excitement with the kids and the rest of the folks in town. And this is all for a race, which is going to take place Friday, May 29th from 4 to 6. And if you are interested in participating in the race, you can buy a duck. And we have a few samples on the table in front of us.
This is the business duck?
That is the business duck.
This is the business duck, yep.
This is the regular duck.
And the business duck can be purchased for $100 by a business, and the small ducks, held by Selectman Askham, can be purchased for $5. The ducks can be decorated any way you like. Quack.
Bad duck.
Bad duck. And for the race will be from Warner Nursery under the Flower Bridge. And the prize for the business ducks is a golden duck. And the business that wins gets to keep the golden duck in their place of business to show the whole community that they are the top duck. For the individuals, the prizes are really extra special. First prize is an overnight stay at the Mayflower Inn, a 5-star inn in Washington, Connecticut.
I think Quack wants that.
And Quack is really looking forward to that one. Second prize is 4 park hopper passes to Disney World.
Wow.
Really great prize. Third prize is $250, and fourth prize is $100. And the Tootin Hills PTO would also like to thank the Simsbury Volunteer Fire Department for help with the setting up the track on the river and for holding a Touch a Truck event during the race so that the kids who are standing on the sidelines can go and get an up close and personal look at the fire truck. If you are looking for information about the race, you can find it on the PTO page of the Tootin Hills school website. If you are looking to purchase tickets or buy a duck during the Memorial Day parade this Monday, the duck will be in front of Joe Pizza, and you can purchase ducks there.
Very cool.
Before, during, and after the parade. So they'll be more than happy to provide you with a duck.
Yeah, I know the Flower Bridge is extremely excited about
the
fact that this is being held down there. And our timing of our show may be that some folks see this after the race, but we wanted to definitely get the word out. And I think, if you've missed it, hate to say it, but you're lost. But there's plenty of time because I think to date this has been pretty successful, and for sure this is going to be something they do next year. Sure. And other communities have done this with great success, and so I think it's really neat that it's that Tootin. Thank you, Tootin.
Yeah.
And thank you, Quack.
And we'll have a lot of excitement that day down by the Flower Bridge.
Yeah. And don't forget, come down and join us because the Board of Selectmen, all 6 of us, together,
we have a duck.
We have sponsored a business duck, so both Republicans and Democrats got together on something. And
yes, we did. We could agree on buying a duck.
We agreed on buying a duck. We're working at the details on decorating.
We had a duck in the race.
So definitely come down and have some fun.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
It is.
Thank you, Quack.
Thank you for joining us,
Quack.
Thank you very much, Quack.
Just watch your step.
Quack is exiting the stage now with some assistance. So, but there's a lot of other great things going on, and some of which, have taken place already, but are definitely worth mentioning. I know, Mike, we were in the Board of Selectmen race, and or not race, rather. Here I am still thinking about ducks. Bike friendly month.
Yep.
Were you guys racing at that too?
We did not race.
Oh, okay.
No. It was all I could do to hold on with 2 hands. Chris Kelly was showing off. He was raising his hand off his bike and waving and ringing his bell on his bike.
Yeah, show off.
But our thanks to the folks that organized that.
The free bike.
Yep, because it's a great. And Cheryl, you were on the Cyclofem Saturday.
I was,
race.
And we had a great bike ride just for the ladies.
Yeah.
And it was sponsored by the bike seller
You're feeling left out.
and Simsbury Free Bike. And we actually had a great time on a Saturday morning. We went down the trail and everybody who, from beginners to more advanced riders, could pick your distance and go as
Good.
far as you wanted, and we had a great time.
Yeah. And I know they had also, Sean, you were at the event at Redstone that they celebrated their silver.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very well attended,
Yeah.
and lots of good giveaways, some prizes, and a lot of folks rode down there. And the I think it was the honors art class at Simsbury High School had painted
Yes.
a number of different bikes,
Oh, really?
and they're still
Yeah.
on display. That was up on their Facebook page this morning, I think.
It's
but,
outstanding.
They're really some
They're
talented
fabulous.
kids at that school, and it's just I think they're going to display them around town as part of the free bikes. So if
Yeah.
you
Good.
get a chance, check those out.
Yep.
They were really neat.
Yeah, they've done that for a couple of years,
They
I
have.
think now.
These
and-
these were the best ones I've seen. These
Yeah.
were
Yes,
these
these
were
were-
really good.
they were
There was 6
wonderful.
or 7
Yeah.
of them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're encouraged. Cheryl, you bought a bike.
I did. I am a new bike
You're
owner.
catching the fever, and
I
we'll
am.
roll on. And
I rode it to town hall, during bike to work week, and
Yep.
for an early meeting.
that's right. You biked to our
I
meeting that
biked to the
morning.
meeting.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And
But it's very exciting, and there's a lot more opportunities now, I think, with the silver designation, and the group's working really hard. And so the bike to school stuff that they do as well, I think, bringing the kids into all their efforts.
Well, and we got a chance to recognize all the hard work that the biking community has put into the silver designation at our Hometown Hero
That's
Award
right.
Yep.
ceremony,
Yep.
which was great to honor the entire
Was
committee and Larry
Leononi.
Linoni for
Linonis, yeah,
sort
yep.
of leading the charge, and all the other people who participated in that, and it was a great
Yeah.
event.
Yes,
nice
that was
nice to celebrate as a town.
Yes, it definitely was.
Good stuff.
And Mike, we were out at the Whitewater Triple Crown
Yes,
doing our thing, and
another great day.
I know, it was. The sun
it's
was
amazing.
shining. It was just a beautiful day. We did some scribe work to, kind of score the folks as they went through the gates. And that was just another annual event that Terriffill holds every year, and just a great event for the community.
What a gem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we have a couple of pictures. Hopefully we'll share if I can get those
I'll leave it to
integrated.
you.
Yeah. And then Strut Your Mutt.
Strut your mutt.
Strut Your Mutt.
The annual event, very pleased to be a part of that. My wife's on the dog park committee, and along with Nikki Perry, who is the organizer of that event.
Yeah.
I think they had about 18, 20 vendors down there. Hundreds of people came through, tons of cool dogs. I love it because I get to play with everybody's dog all day
And strut your own mutt.
bring my.
And strike your butt.
I get to bring Brody down, and
Right.
he lasts about 10 minutes.
I was going to say, he
and
doesn't
wants to go.
Okay, I'm
strut a
tired.
lot, but he's,
He's a little on the lazy side, but it was great to see so many people down there, and that's their annual fundraiser. I think they raised a fair amount of money, and we're pleased with that. There was some canine shows from some different police dogs around the state.
Okay.
And just a lot of great giveaways. So if folks haven't had a chance to check that out, it'll be coming around again next year. And again, don't forget about the dog park down just down the road from here at the Performing Arts Center. It's we're really lucky to have it. They won Best of Hartford for
That's
the
right,
Hartford
yeah.
Readers Poll for
that's
dog
a
parks
nice honor. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
In the Hartford County area. So it's really a great place to go. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And circling back to our opening with the Quack and the Flower Bridge, but the Burgers on the Bridge is coming in June. So
That's right.
We'll share date information and stuff with folks and time on screen there as we chat about this. But another great organization, and I know the Flower Bridge is it's just so well known, far beyond Simsbury. A great destination for weddings, for yoga
Right.
on the bridge.
There is.
They
There's
do
yoga
all.
they're
Go
doing.
figure.
Yep, yep. So
And
they-
all of us had a chance to participate in the Performing Arts Center season opening event
Yeah.
at Hot Meadow, to talk about all the great concerts and everything coming up.
yes.
So
Yeah.
everybody should start getting their information soon about all those concerts.
Get your
Yeah.
tickets now. Yeah.
Get your
Not
tickets.
only just Talcott Mountain, but even the other concerts.
Right, and all the other
Beach
concerts.
Boys are coming. I mean, how cool
Yeah,
is that?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I got
Yeah.
some tickets to that, so I'm excited about going to that.
There you go.
Yeah. And so, again, a little timely to our program in terms of when it's airing, but we really would be remiss if we didn't talk about the Memorial Day Parade. And I wore my red, white, and blue. Just look at us all in our
Yeah,
reds.
I'm
right?
halfway
I got a
there.
little
You got
red,
some blue. You got some blue. You guys got it together. Yeah. But it marks the beginning of summer in town. It's such a
Yeah.
great parade, and we'll start up in Terriffill, and then the parade in the center of town in the afternoon. And this year particularly special because they're going to do the groundbreaking for the Veterans Memorial, and
Right.
so that will be a really nice
Yeah.
nice event and encourage folks to come out. And the Wounded Warrior Project is doing the fundraiser
Exactly.
where they're going to be selling some things. And as we mentioned, the Ducks will be there. So a lot of stuff for folks to do. And it reminds me, Mike, of a couple of years ago when you came on and shared your story about your dad and your family and the flags.
Yeah,
And
my dad started, with some other gentlemen, started the flags through Simsbury, and it's actually expanded into West Simsbury, Terrafil. And it's just, it gets me. And not just because it was my dad, but just to drive down Route 10 or through Terrafil and see the flags, especially on a day like this. And it's a great cooperative effort between the Department of Public Works. The guys help put the flags out, and my brother-in-law and I get the flags ready to go out and put the flags together. And periodically they need to get updated and the poles repaired and stuff like that. So it's, but it's gorgeous, and it's just good stuff to see in town.
It's a wonderful tribute. It really is.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a nice reminder that it's not National Barbecue Weekend, it's Memorial Day
Right.
for a reason, and we've got so many veterans in this town, and so many folks that we have lost, through war and conflict. So it's a very sobering reminder, and one
Really
that I know
is.
I appreciate. So
Yeah.
well done, Mike.
And just kudos again to the veterans and the American Legion. I mean, just the work that they've done, all the fundraising.
Yeah.
I just think when that memorial is erected, and it's just going to be such a great thing for the community and a great honor to all the folks that have served. So
I actually ran into Len yesterday at Weldon. He was getting the golden shovel ready for the
really,
the
Very
first.
exciting.
So it was,
Wow. Well, that's exciting.
And you could just see him beaming. That he's so excited to be able to see that.
It's great.
Wonderful project come to fruition
Right.
here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then I also wanted to make sure we had mentioned, and I know we talked about this maybe a couple programs ago, but Marcia Shanko had retired as a registrar of voters, and we had a nice event for her, and it was her request that the funds we raised for that event be donated to the Simsbury Social Services Department. And so we have a picture of Marge with Mickey LaCoursbeck, and we were proud that the Simsbury Republicans could donate $1,000 to Simsbury Social Services. And I know it really meant a lot to Marge that we did that. She and Mickey share a history with her service in aging and disability, and just within Civitans and all the other ways that she's been involved in helping folks in the community. So, I was really pleased, I think, and it was an honor to be able to do that. And so,
It really was.
yeah,
Big time.
yeah.
It was fun too. We got to hear some stories about Marge that we didn't know. She's,
Right.
Right, right.
So it was,
Which we won't share here.
we
no.
can't share. You're gonna have to call Marge if you
Ask
want to. You're
Marge.
gonna have to call Marge if you want to hear him yourself. But,
With a note.
yeah, she's a pretty dynamic lady, and she's done a lot.
She's amazing.
For this town and for this state, and that was a lot of what we learned about. So it
Yeah,
was,
yeah. She had some amazing, actually, a photo album that night that she had shared, and some amazing pictures of just very powerful
Who's who.
people that she's just had the opportunity to serve with and do great things with, and so I thought that was really pretty neat. So,
was.
and she's still around, so she's not
still
going
down
far.
at town hall. So if you want to see her,
right.
go pop down there and say hi to her. So, yep.
So speaking of honoring, and I wanted to take the opportunity to actually read something because there's no way I could have really memorized this, but Simsbury Main Street, and I should say Connecticut Main Street, has an annual awards gala each year. And so they present various awards, and one of which is an accreditation to programs across the state, Main Street programs across the state, across the country, which is actually through the national Main Street program. So pleased to share with folks that Simsbury Main Street has been again accredited as a Main Street program again this year, and so that will be on June 8th at in New Britain. So they go to different Main Streets around the state when they have the gala, and there's also an AP Economics class that Rich Correa, who's the president of Main Street, is involved in helping to shape the curriculum and bring in guests and speakers. And so that program itself is going to be honored that evening. But one that I think deserves this read that I'll do is it's the Eversource Founders Award. And so this year, Hiram Peck is being honored. And so I just wanted to share a few comments that they had made. It says, Simsbury boasts a rich cultural history and has sought to carefully integrate its natural and historic assets into its development. At the forefront of this endeavor is Hiram Peck, a professional planner for over 25 years. Hiram has worked with municipalities, with federal government, regional planning services, and private clients. As Simsbury's Director of Planning, Hiram remains ever focused on land and man's optimal relation to it. Working with Simsbury Main Street Partnership, he has coordinated an extensive consensus building process involving a community design charrette and adopted a form-based code effort for Simsbury Town Center. This is an issue he is passionate about and has been working with several firms and groups and states on form-based code for several years. In addition, a planned area development regulation was recently adopted, allowing the town to carefully craft future developments so it fits with the historic charm. Work on low-impact LID, stormwater regulations, and incentivized housing development zones are also well underway, serving the community's environmental goals and desire to attract new residents. Other progressive endeavors currently under Hiram's guidance include significant mixed-use development and transit projects. It just goes on, and these are, talk about interesting factoids about people that you don't, but Hiram's dedicated to comprehensive management planning, has benefited many over the years. Before coming to Simsbury in 2007, Hiram was town planner in New Canaan, Connecticut for several years. During this time, the Plan of Conservation and Development and zoning regulations were completely revised, and many major projects, including construction of a teen center and the preservation of an important downtown theater and town-owned historic buildings, were accomplished. Before his service as a U.S. Army officer, Hiram attended Cornell University and the University of Connecticut. He has taught science and secondary level and geology at the college level. He is AICP certified planner for over 25 years, and he is also consulting planner and a Connecticut licensed arborist in his spare time, which I don't know how he has any of,
That's quite an impressive resume.
considering the number of meetings he attends.
Yeah.
But he's also served on a board of selectmen and the board of tax review in his hometown. So
That's great.
I think we are so lucky to have him as our town planner, and I know the work on the Economic Development Task Force has just sort of brought that to light even more, because folks that are residents in town that are involved in that, that have their professional experiences within the development community have really spoken to how lucky we are to have him as a planner. So I definitely thought that was worth sharing with.
Absolutely, that is good news.
Congratulations to Hiram.
Yes,
That's really
yeah,
great.
yeah. So it's going to be a busy evening, June 8th. I'm going to try to get down there before our Board of Selectmen meeting. It starts at 4:30, and then they have tours of New Britain, which I can't stick around because we'll be heading back to get to our meeting. But it's a great night for Main Street. Which kind of segues well into some of the economic development updates that the task force, some of the things the task force has been working on. I know I've mentioned a couple times about the website and the work that we're doing, and I just wanted to alert folks that Rick Bizzano from town is heading up this project. The task force made the recommendation and brought it to the town, and utilizing the resources of Virtual Town Hall, which is our current web manager, we were able to really have some efficiencies and savings in being able to do this work. And there'll be some public forums that are coming up for the community, and the first selectman has tasked Sarah and I to work on setting up the business communities forum. So we're going to be doing that hopefully within the month of June. Some of that will take place. We had a meeting around how the recommendations the task force would have for the EDC page, because that's been the focus of this work all along. So more information to follow.
And a big thank you to all the volunteers on the task force and the
They worked hard.
EDC who have worked really hard on this project. And I know we're all going to be very impressed when the new website.
Yeah, I can't.
goes live,
I'm so appreciative, and I do feed them when they come to the meetings, but I know that's not the
Is that
only.
how you get people to your meeting? You gotta
If I'd known that.
Yeah. But the other piece of work, and we discussed this as a board at our last meeting, but we've got a great draft of the business incentive policy.
Yep.
That is, it's been being worked on for a long time by the task force. But that came up for, again, initial discussion at our last meeting, and we're going to be setting a public hearing for that. It's not an ordinance, so it's not necessary, but I think it's a good idea to get out there and get public input on the policy itself. And just some stuff that folks may not know, that the policy is made up of a tax abatement, an infrastructure program, and then also some permit fee abatement. And we really took careful consideration to take what our existing state regulations that are there, and you can use them, but we molded them to be specific for our town, to pull together what we thought was the best of, make it more specific and targeted, and I think that will result in ultimately what will end up being a good policy, but good development for our community and a good message to the development community around that. So,
And as a board, I think we're looking forward to having people come in and talk to us.
Give us their feedback.
Give
and
us their
thoughts.
feedback, particularly if you have any experience in the business community with, I know, Mike, you know a few business owners who have worked
Couple.
with the, with the old abatement policy and
Yeah.
How it impacted
if we
them
could
and-
make improvements or not,
Sure.
as a board, all six of us as a board, we'll be discussing that. But
Well, and the whole point is to try to encourage a business that's here to be able to stay here, but grow their business, because ultimately it's a lot easier to give incentives to an existing business and get them to grow here versus try to entice somebody to come in. And that can be very counterproductive because you're robbing Peter to pay Paul and doing all that stuff. And this gives us the ability for them to grow their site, and so we'll get some of those people there to share
I
that.
hope some of those business owners will come in and share their thoughts with us.
yeah. And the current, under the current policy, I should say, and this is something we talked about, we don't want to overuse it.
Right.
But we want to have it as an option
Right.
for use. And the policy, current policy has been around for 12 or 14 years and has been used 5 times. So it's not that it's going to be something that we're going to be, and so folks know, it's an abatement against an increase.
Right.
It's not against what is currently there that a company would be, paying the town in taxes, but if they were to grow their business, it would be an abatement for a period of time for that increase in that business.
It's interesting because I believe most of them, I don't know if it's all of them, have been done retroactively, and I think this policy is more designed to be proactive.
Exactly.
Right. We're in a different economic time, a different competitive time. We don't have access to 84. We don't have access to 91 here. We're reasonably close to the airport, but we like our location, but that presents some economic challenges for business. This is a way to try to level the playing field when the first selectman or when Hiram or someone else is out negotiating with a business. To get out there and say, hey, look, we have these tools in our toolbox, much like the charrette, much like the PAD, much like all the other planning we've done, right?
Right.
Is to make the process more transparent and clear. Not necessarily easier, but more transparent and clear for a business to come into our town and want to do business and stay here, right? Or for businesses like Apollo's or like Hoffman that have utilized this, right?
Right,
I mean, we all remember what Apollo's used to look like. Again,
And Fiddler's Green.
we
Fiddler's
loved it.
Green,
but-
yeah.
All
there's-
those places.
Yeah,
And it encourages them to upgrade and to enhance it. And
Reinvest in the community.
Yeah,
That's
and it
huge.
is, to your point, it is something that gets done ahead of time now. It's not that the building comes in and they go and ask for the tax relief. They come beforehand, and so it's more clear, it's
It's a
specific.
more orderly process. It's just,
Yeah.
it makes more sense.
Yeah, and then, built within that, of course, is that when they come to an agreement, the town attorney gets involved and there's a contract drawn up.
Right.
There's a clawback policy, making sure that people don't, sort of take the money and run, as they say, and,
Right.
you want them to stay here. We're talking about putting more specifics to that, but I wonder if, that's something held for when the contract is drawn up, and we're going to have a lot of that great conversation as we
And
move.
like I said, it's still in the formation
in the
phase,
works.
so
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
Still under discussion,
Yep.
and that's the point, to get people's input. And it's just not the 4 or 6 of us, and it's well beyond that with the people that are involved on the committee.
Yeah.
But the general public, and an understanding that we're not giving away your tax dollars, we're actually growing it looking forward.
Right,
So
right,
that's a
right.
big difference.
And, we need to talk about the ways we fund the infrastructure program and how we make that work. And, that was a program we did have previously. And I
Yep.
think we can bring that back under this policy as well. And so again, I think it's just want to make sure you don't lose opportunities out there. And so
sure.
I think it's a good way to do that.
Absolutely.
So we will have the hearing. It hasn't been set yet. I know we talked
Yeah.
about June, so more
Probably the
information.
second meeting in June, I think,
Right.
is when it's probably
Well,
gonna
yeah,
be,
because I'm thinking we have to set the meeting
Right.
And
at our
notice
June
it.
8th meeting, so
Give
it would likely
notice.
be the end of
the
that.
second
Yeah.
meeting,
Yeah, so some more to come on that, but again, thanks to the task force for all their work to date on that, and the business incentive or business development committee who facilitates the policy now and will in the future
Right.
has been involved with that, as well as Main Street giving input and approval and Chamber endorsing it, and so there's been some great,
A lot of feedback already.
already.
But if you don't get a chance to make one of our meetings, just email Nancy with your comments.
Or Hiram actually is the best. Yeah. We'll put lots of information up on the screen right now.
Email
You'll
Nancy.
see that. You'll see that. So, so there's a lot of stuff going on in town, and I think one of the things we've also been working on, and you guys have actually through the personnel committee, is the charter revision stuff to keep that.
It's an evolving process. We've had some discussions
Right.
about what are we going to call for
Right.
from a board of selectmen standpoint. So we're looking forward to bringing a recommendation relatively soon
Yeah.
to the entire board of selectmen, because what state law allows us state statute allows us for
Right.
us to recommend the start of the scope, right? So
Right,
we
exactly.
would define that, whether that be town manager, whether that be fixing boards and commissions, or changing permanent positions in the charter, whatever that would be.
And as
Yeah.
many as we want.
Correct, and then it would be
It's,
opened up to the Charter Revision Commission, once appointed, to then decide the scope from there. So
Right.
it's a pretty involved process,
Right.
as we've learned over the last
Thus far.
last few months, and
Right.
Yeah.
but it's an important one. It's one that we have to have this discussion. It's time to figure out whether we're going to go forward with our current form of government or a different form, or something in between. So
Right.
look forward to more comment
Yeah.
on that. But
Absolutely.
And again, our goal is to keep the public engaged as much
Absolutely.
as possible.
Yeah.
So that everybody knows what the next step is and how they can be involved in that decision-making process.
Yeah. So we covered a ton,
we did. We always do.
and we're done.
No way.
Don't forget your ducks.
Don't forget your ducks.
Get
and
your
as I
ducks in a
said,
row.
Some of our information today was a little bit maybe dated depending upon when you're watching it, but there's a lot of good stuff going on. A lot of it happens annually. A lot of stuff we're really
Right.
excited that we're involved in and support.
Keep checking the websites.
Appreciative of
Yep.
all the volunteers in town that make it all happen. So thank you for watching our program,
Thank you.
and we wish you a happy Memorial Day and happy and healthy summer, and we'll see you again soon.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.